So today, in the point of view in Data Doctrines, we'll talk about the Islamic NATO, probable formation of Islamic NATO, and what are the implications of India. Why this Islamic NATO is coming? Uh, because recently Pakistan has signed a military um, collaboration or arrangement uh, with Saudi Arabia, and that's why this entire thing is coming, and Pakistan is trying to sell that with other or sell that to other Muslim nations and to form a Islamic NATO. I will not say just Pakistan. Entire Islamic NATO is being front-ended by Pakistan and Turkey. They are the messiahs of Muslims or Islamic world. They claim to be. So, question is that first question I will try to answer is whether this arrangement between security arrangement, let's call it security arrangement between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan is a threat for India, because there is a Article 5 type of clause. If Pakistan is being attacked, it will be thought as that Saudi Arabia is also being attacked. So that's the Article 5 we call from NATO, right? Those kind of clause. Let's see the background. So there was like last 20 years there was a security arrangement between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia in a very unorganized manner there because Saudi Arabia doesn't have that degree of military assets, and always Saudi Arabia was more threatened by Iran, and that's why they actually asked for that kind of security from Pakistan, and it was primarily on Mecca and also in different oil fields. You will see that Pakistani assets, both soldiers and some of the assets, operational assets, are being deployed to help Saudi Arabia's. So that was already there for last 20 years. So what is a new thing? New thing is that after this Iran versus Israel war, Saudi Arabia is always there is a conflict between Saudi Arabia and Iran. They are Sunni and they are Shia. Saudi Arabia's Sunni mm, dominated country, and Iran is a Shia dominated country, and there is always a divide between Shia and Sunni, and that's why there's a divide between Saudi Arabia and Iran. And when Iran was slowly developing the nuclear assets, and Saudi Arabia was scared because of that, and that's why they need one guarantor, security guarantor, more precisely a nuclear security guarantor, right? And that's why they accepted that collaboration between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia. It is not because that they want to do some harm to India. It is just because they want a nuclear guarantor or security guarantor, which is Pakistan, uh, which can have some degree of deterrence for Saudi Arabia when against Iran. So they want some deterrence uh, against Iran. So that's the sole reason. Now, what will happen if, say, there is a terrorist? Let's understand the probabilistic scenario. If there is a terrorist attack in India, and we start or resume the Operation Sindoor 2.0, and we attack Pakistan, uh, will there be a will Saudi Arabia will be involved in this entire warfare? The answer is completely no. So that it's a complete, almost a copy of Article 5. It's a defensive arrangement, not an offensive arrangement. Now the question is, when we attack Pakistan, we will attack their terrorist base. We will not attack their military base, right? Now, when we attack their terrorist base like Sindoor 1.0, they will attack us militarily. That happened in Operation Sindoor, right? When we strike their terrorist camps, they attack our military sites. When Pakistan goes offensive, that means when they attack our military strike militarily, it is called offensive offensive posture, because we have not attacked them militarily, right? So when this happens, then automatic that clause is not valid. That clause is valid when India attacks Pakistan militarily. So if they attack militarily and we defend militarily, that means we are defending ourselves. So that Article 5 type of clause will not be valid. So that's the clear message. There is no ambiguity. There is no confusion. So if the probabilistic scenario is that they do a terrorist strike and then we attack the terrorist targets, and then they attack militarily, Pakistan attack India militarily, and we defend ourselves militarily, then there is no activation of that clause. So that's number one. Now, where can be a problem? So Saudi Arabia will not attack India because Saudi Arabia doesn't have that military force, that force multiplier, I will call it, right? There is nothing like Turkey or any other country, most of the Muslim countries. So what they can do is that they can create pressure. They can withdraw from some of the economic projects. They can indulge in some degree of isolation in OIC. They can lead that process that I will isolate India diplomatically, but they will not attack us. So no Saudi Arabia assets will come to India, right? All the aircrafts and all other things, right? There might be some problem in for India in the Gulf region, but let's not discuss on all those things because that will not happen. Now, let us answer the question: how realistic is this NATO? Will the Islamic NATO work? See, the entire NATO structure is actually based on like four components, right? If I have to just tell the components, the first component is there should be a long history of institutionalized command and interoperability. Just like in NATO, we have to have that, like all the Gulf countries' assets, the military assets. So there has to be some degree of integrated command and interoperability of military assets and their protocols and their doctrines. So that has not been done in neither of the Islamic countries. Leave out Saudi Arabia. So there is nothing like that in the Islamic countries. The second condition to be a NATO-like formation is a single great power security guarantor. Like in NATO, we have US, right? A single guarantor. Here, who will be the guarantor? If we think Pakistan is a guarantor, I don't think so. Pakistan can be a guarantor for almost 41 Muslim countries. Like there are many Muslim countries, but we are thinking that only 41 Muslim countries who are in that list of IMCTC, right? There is a group called Islamic Military Counter-Terrorism Coalition, which was formed in December 2015. And if we think that group will be translated into Islamic NATO, I don't think so. Pakistan can be a guarantor. The guarantor can be not only military but also economic. So if you think NATO, US economically help all the NATO countries as well as militarily. So and obviously Pakistan doesn't have that kind of assets to kind of provide security guarantors to all the Islamic countries. So condition B is gone. Second condition is gone. What is condition 3? Shared threat perception across members. So in NATO, Russia was the threat, right? That's why the NATO was formed. And to be a shared threat to all the Islamic countries, I don't think so there is any single threat. If India is a threat for Islamic country, it is only for Pakistan, I feel. It's not even for Bangladesh or not even for Turkey. So Pakistan feels that this is my threat. So he cannot Pakistan cannot sell the idea of a shared threat, that India is a shared threat across all the 41 members. Because we also have a very good relationship with all the Gulf countries. That's a very good to have things, right? We have a very good partnership with Gulf countries. We have a very good partnership with Malaysia. We have a very good partnership with Indonesia. We are selling our assets like BrahMos to Indonesia. We had Bangladesh recent change in regime probably actually is a problem. We are not having a good relationship with Turkey. So I personally feel if there is a collaboration that might occur, I will not call it as Islamic NATO. I will call it as a Islamic 3 countries NATO. One is Pakistan, Turkey, and Bangladesh. I feel that if 3 countries want to form 3 Muslim countries want to form a NATO-like alliance, which obviously doesn't satisfy all the four conditions. At least two conditions is satisfied. I think so. It will be between Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Turkey. I don't think so. Other countries will fall into that place, right? Now, what is the risk if that kind of like the Islamic NATO is formed, like bigger Islamic NATO? India will have problem because the isolation in the Gulf countries through OIC. So Saudi Arabia will lead that back, and obviously Pakistan will kind of always put that agenda in the agenda, right? And there will be some degree of isolation of India in OIC. There will be some degree of isolation of India in National Security Council. That was There will be obviously economic impact because a lot of goods run through Gulf. Our ships, consignments, and everything runs through Gulf. We have a lot of business, export business from with the Gulf, so that will be an impact. We have a Muslim population, so and obviously Islamic NATO will position uh, in the mind of Indian Muslims that India is a threat to world Muslim, right? And it might kind of put a positioning kind of, it will be a kind of psychological problem for Indian Muslim also. That's one option or one scenario I'm thinking. But I don't think so. There will be a Islamic NATO again. This thing has to be there. This four condition. If any one condition is not met, and that will not that thing will be a fallout, right? And obviously there are other reasons also. Like you have a challenge with Iran versus Saudi Arabia. So that's one problem. There's one pole that is will have a problem. Then you have a problem with Saudi Arabia versus Turkey. So two problem, right? Two problem. Then you have a problem with Iran versus Indonesia. So that is number three. Then many countries like Qatar and Iraq, then they have a challenge with Pakistan. So they have some degree of history which is not good from the Pakistan side. Then Lebanon, I don't know whether people, most of the people doesn't know that there are a lot of Pakistan has killed a lot of Lebanese, and also in Gaza they have a lot of killings in past. So when they are supporting Gaza, I don't think so. They are supporting Gaza. I don't. They have done a lot of problem in Gaza in the past because the 93,000 soldiers we released as a captives, war captives, were used actually in many phases. One was in Balochistan. They used those people in Balochistan, and they have also used those people in soldiers, prisoners of war in Afghanistan against Russia. They have used them in Lebanon. They have used them in Iran. They have used them in Lebanon, in Gaza. So there are a lot of issue with Pakistan to be a guardian with all these Muslim countries. Like I don't think so, apart from Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Turkey, any Muslim country is um, or harping on the doctrine of Islam, be it economically or militarily, right? If you talk about Malaysia, they are Muslim country, but they are very peaceful, and they doesn't go into conflicts. You say Indonesia. Indonesia is also a peace-loving country. They don't harp on Islamic and Muslims, right? The Ummah and all of the Muslim Brotherhood. Same thing goes for many other Muslim countries. Qatar and all those people doesn't go for those kind of um, Ummah kind of power Ummah and all those things, Muslim Brotherhoods and caliphates, the old caliphates, or they support all those things. And those national strategy and doctrines come into the military doctrine. So we don't think, I don't personally don't think so that will happen. So in an essence, I don't think so Islamic NATO will be formed. There might be a collaboration or a military alliance between Bangladesh, Turkey, and Pakistan. That's a high possibility, I feel. And if that's the possibility, I don't think so India should be scared of, because that's a kind of a combination which is not, we are not scared. We are far advanced than that combination. And we have a very good connection with Gulf countries, with Indonesia, with Malaysia. These are the prime poles of Muslim countries. So we have a very good relationship with them, and we are doing a lot of business with them. So I don't think so they will also do. And whatever Saudi Arabia and Pakistanis did, it's only because Saudi Arabia accepted that because of only they are threatened by Iran nuclear threat, right? So that's the reason, and Pakistan is doing for them because they want to pressurize India. So that's the only reason. Um, I just want to hear from you guys, like what you feel in terms of this Islamic NATO. Till then, goodbye from Arnav.